Welcome back to another Alliance War video. So this time it's war number 9 and we're against KENOB again for the second time this season, so it's a big rematch. This time it's also for rank number 1 in terms of the war rating. I can't remember the last time, or it's been a little while, especially since anyone's not KENOB over there. So this is our chance to make it shine, and I know that people from KENOB said that they were definitely going to beat us this time. So it adds more of a personal touch to it as well. KENOB obviously recognised as arguably the best Alliance War alliance this game's ever seen in terms of the dominance for seasons and seasons and seasons. So we'll try and see if we can manage to get the double of the 6-pointer in quotations, if you would. So here, the assignments went out for paths very early. It was like 4:30 in the morning for me. I remember waking up, hearing my phone go off and just being like, I'll join, but there's no chance I'm fighting. It's a bit too early for me to even think about it, especially in a war like this against KENOB. At this point, we were already a few deaths down. We had a really bad start in terms of the alliance. And Battle Group 3 was pretty much the last alliance to go out. All the other fights were done for all the other battle groups. It was just us to see whether we could redeem it, sort of thing, for the alliance. So we go into this first fight on Path 9 here, which is this Annihilus. We're going to Quake it. And I've got to admit, I do enjoy using the 30% boost on Quake. They are quite nice. But we'll fast forward through that first fight, as you saw. Wasn't too bad with Quake, pretty easy. I've just pop in invulnerability boosts in this war just to be sure, basically just for fun. Because, again, I don't want my death to be the death that potentially hurts the Alliance overall, especially in a war as serious as this one against KENOB. So here on the Power Snake node, the main strategy is to make sure that I get my first dexterity buff while the concussion's up from the first set of aftershock charges. Because everybody in this tier runs max limber, when you're doing things like this with Quake, it actually makes it much easier. As you can see here, obviously I could have used the bleed half suicides if I wanted to make the fight a little bit quicker, but didn't really see the need. I was 30% boosted and quite high boosted, so I just did it like this. As you can see here, Man-Thing's at almost 50%, so the backup recovery is about to kick in. There we go. And yeah, it goes back up to around 70, so we just got to get all that down again. The main point of this is just not to drop an input, because then I'll get poisoned, I'll get armor broken. He'll gain at least a bar of power from Mystic Dispersion and everything else. So yeah, here's a really interesting moment though. I had Do Not Disturb on, woke up a little bit before my alarm, forgot to turn my alarm off. So, like I was just saying, I can't really drop an input, or else it can make the fight go very badly against me. And I just have to kind of deal with my my alarm going off at the same time as doing the fight. So, yeah, that's always good fun, especially in a war like this. At this point, I think the war, it might have been just after this fight, actually, that I actually see and notice. But the deaths sort of came back to us from KENOB's side. They dropped a couple of deaths. Luckily for me, one of them was my Domino against a Ghost, so I'm guessing the crit failure must have really hurt them. So that's always nice to see in terms of like greediness and my own personal attributes is that they've done. But finally, Man-Thing goes down, even though I couldn't see any of the timers or anything at the top because of my stupid alarm. So as you can see there, turn it off. Section 1 done. Let's head into Section 2. So I'm going to use quite a lot of energy this war, just because I'm trying to move up and kind of like make sure that I can help all my other alliance mates out who can just do like as much as they can, just one set of boost then. And I have the 6-hour boost on, so it's not like it's anything like crucial for me to try and be energy efficient. As long as I get all my fights in within the 6 hours, then I'm good. So here, the encroaching stun, Sasquatch. I've done this fight many a times. I've said it many a times as well that I'm not really sure how people die on this node that often. To me, it doesn't seem like a too difficult fight. It's just about managing it. Saying that, unfortunately for KENOB, one of the deaths in this war too was actually on this node, this combination. So something must have gone pretty badly for them. But as you can see there, 30 seconds, fight was done. yeah, I don't mind fights like that. You can, I'll have them all day. Thank you very much. And then we're coming on to this Penny Parker on path 7 on the spike node. So it's not, it is still the spike node. Yeah, it's just not powerful from afar. It's trying to think then. So I've done this fight many a times. This is becoming pretty similar to what it used to be with like Domino on this fight now. Normally, whenever she's on this node, I get assigned it just because I've done it a few times. And if Penny's on Power Snack, I get it quite often as well. It's just about watching them first few hits with where the medium attacks and the light just don't quite have the range to catch you after an evade until you get in your own corner. Then it's a lot more thinking about it until you've got your dexterity. Then it's just a Quake fight and just watching your inputs. But as you see here, what is it, a minute and a half, just under, about a minute and a half by the time they actually drop. So that was another fight done, so that's like fight 4 for me of the war, I think, at this point. And then we're coming on to a Mordo here, which is on the kinetic transference aspect of Evolution node, the end of path 7 in section 2. So this time, it's first time in I don't know how long, I'm actually worried about them throwing more than 3 special frees. So I'm covering myself with an invulnerability and the special free defense boost, just in case Mordo decides to just, I guess the best terminology for it would be being Mordo. And sitting back and just being really passive and not really wanting to give me anything. But Doom obviously being one of the best counters, he's tanky, you can constantly steal the power gain from Mordo, so you don't need to worry about that. The backhand and that will always come in clutch. And I've got an indestructible in case he does end up throwing a special free at me. But here, I'm just trying to get them to the point where I can put them in the Doom cycle properly. Mordo didn't seem to want to save himself until this point. He just constantly wanted to throw a special attack, normally a special 1. And yeah, so we go into this now here. We throw our special 3, it does a lot of damage. And then we can sort of like rinse and repeat the normal Doom cycle as everybody sees in many, many wars, especially in this tier. And I decided to throw the special 2 pretty quick, just to get past the unblockable. And just watch him melt away. So didn't need the invulnerability boost for that fight, didn't need the special free defense boost either, but especially in a war like this, it's better to be safe than sorry. So next up is this Mangog here on the shared node. So this one has the indestructible special 2 and the kinetic transference. So speaking to one of the friends of mine, obviously you don't want to do 5-hit combos against Mangog, but with Dr. Doom, if you do 4 hits and then the heavy attack, it doesn't count and give him any more of the rage stacks. So that's pretty much what I do. Here I throw a couple of special 1s just to try and make sure that I manage the power of Mangog a little bit better, because I don't really want him to throw a special 2 at me. I just kind of want to get it under control a little bit. Here I decide to just go for it, push them up to a special 3 as much as I can, put another stagger on, and then we go for it here. So into the Doom cycle we go. Eventually, obviously most people are bored of seeing this now, especially if anyone's done the Abyss or watches a lot of war videos, then you don't really want to see this ever. But we can put him in the Doom cycle. Obviously Mangog's slightly different to normal in the fact that he gains his own passive power gain anyway. So the point is here, I parry, I do 2 mediums to push them up, throw a special 1 to remove it, and then just throw the special 2, just in an attempt to finish the fight off. They don't have enough stacks to become Incinerate immune or resistant or anything, so that just ends that off pretty quick. Next up, I've got another video that's coming in a second, where my alliance mate on path 8, Lord Prime, managed to clear path 8 for me, and the Polka Dot Mini, which was a Black Widow Deadly Origins this time. And they also managed to put the pre-fight of White Mags on this Mysterio for me. So for the first time this war, I won't be having an indestructible boost while I do this fight. I'm just going to use a combat regen instead. Got loads from the overflow anyway. I basically claimed a compensation package just for this war, knowing that it was probably going to be quite a boost heavy war. And yeah, so I just did this Mysterio, or I did a Mysterio a couple of wars back on the special 1 node. This time, hopefully, it should be a little bit easier because it's not got Power Focus 1. So the Doom Cycle should be a little bit easier to get into and get that all going. I just need to make sure that I avoid any of Mysterio's heavy attacks, especially if he has any of the gas. There I didn't quite feel confident punishing that heavy attack, just thought I'd get parried. So we backed out of it, waited an extra second, and then we go into using the special 3 now. So again, I know it's boring and I know people aren't a big fan of it, but it's effective and it gets you through fights in war, just to be able to use Doom and the Doom Cycle. So re-parrying here, end my combo slightly short just to try and force him to throw an attack again a bit quicker and get the next special 3 off. So this will give me the second Fury, as you can see here, down to 99% health. Not happy about that. I would have liked it to have been 100, but oh well. And 2 mediums hitting 16k a time, and we're done. So that was my war done. That was my contribution. The battle group managed to go 50-0, so that's what we like to see. We got 3 defender kills, which really helped us out in the end. And yes, we ended up beating KENOB for the second time this season, so that's a great result for us. So hopefully, war number 1.